Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with
Linehan Fitness.
And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Goose Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And somewhere here, there's a road. It's been a long day, and I am headed home, thank God. We've got about 100 miles of driving left to go, and then we'll get there. And we are about an hour away from the first official practice. Now, there's no pads or anything, so it's no real hitting and stuff. It's really more conditioning and start going through the plays and stuff. But we're still talking about practice. But I am as excited as can be because, Mike, you know what happened 7 days from today? 7 days from right now, this moment, we will be sitting in Oxnard on the ball fields waiting for our Dallas Cowboys to come out of the field. You look so excited.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. Michael cut the crap out of his fingers, man. He sliced and diced like it was a ginsu. So, yeah, it's been a rough day, but hopefully he didn't lose too much blood. But an interesting comment from Scott Linehan. And I believe if things go south this year, Scott Linehan will be the fall guy before Jason Garrett. But he basically admitted that the route running, the route tree that they used was very limited with the guys. Didn't elaborate why, but admitted that we didn't do a whole lot. He basically said we wanted to do what we do best. And herein lies part of the problem with last year. Because they were so limited, because they were only running so many routes, if you only have 5 routes, then you got a 1 in 5 chance of being right of where that guy's going to go. Am I right? So that's 20% chance.
What Elliott said?
What?
There's only 3 plays, but change the formation.
True.
That's like the same thing.
So he says this year we're going to be opening up the book. Well, you need to open up the book because, again, there's so many things with our Cowboys that we can point to for reasons why we weren't as successful as we thought, or as they should have been. You can't say we don't have talent on our team. Our problem was 1, depth, 2, Zeke Elliott being suspended. You know, when I say depth, I'm talking about offensive line, I'm talking about linebackers. 3, we didn't get much from our rookies early in the season, and with us basically having mostly rookies for a defensive backfield, that ain't good. And 4, creativity, which is huge in the NFL. I'm not going to go and say that New England has far and away better talent than everybody else, because when you look at the numbers, they don't have that many Pro Bowl players. But what you get with Bill Belichick is a mystery. Bill Belichick will come up week after week with a wrinkle, a change, a couple of plays that nobody has seen before and keeps people guessing. And if you want to go back, I'll give you a great example. You go back to the Super Bowl, which was the beginning of the end of the Legion of Boom for the Seattle Seahawks. That play that Seattle ran on the goal line, they ran that play like 40-some times that year. Never once had it picked off. Bill Belichick knew. They practiced that play. In fact, Malcolm Butler in practice kept getting beat on that play. Yet, that play, which they did 40-some times, they knew to defend it. You need to have plays where people have no idea what you're going to do. You see Bill Belichick come out with having all the defensive linemen standing up. Not necessarily that it's going to make a physical difference because you want to be the low man, but if you're the offensive lineman and you get there and you're like, what are they doing? What the F? It puts enough doubt in your mind that you're not sure what to do. That hesitation, that split instant, because everybody in the NFL is fast. Everybody is fast. You need just a little bit of a hiccup to be successful, and our Cowboys had no hiccup from Scott Linehan. You can't be predictable. Now, the good thing is, and part of that was exacerbated because you didn't change anything up, and you had all the same players. So you had film out on Des Bryant. You knew Des Bryant's going to run 5 routes. You knew exactly Cole Beasley's going to run 5 routes. You know Terrence Williams. There's no mystery. This year, though, you got a new cast of characters. There's going to be a lot more mystery, don't you think? And I think the wild card could actually be Austin. Because last year we didn't have that third down kind of a back, that change of pace. Alfred Morris was really kind of like a smaller, slower version of Zeke Elliott. It was still kind of ground and pound. Smith was a little bit of a change-up, but still not really that really quick guy. If you look back and say the Washington Redskins back in their heyday when they had John Riggins was the bruising back behind the Hogs. But then they threw in Joe Washington, who was a lot quicker on third downs and passing plays, which was a change-up. And see, if the Cowboys can get to that thunder and lightning type of an offense, where you pound Zeke between the tackles, and then you change it up by now having a speedster. If you're a defensive lineman, and you've been trying to go straight ahead against a Zach Martin, against a Travis Frederick, against a Tyron Smith, and trying to hold ground, pounding over and over again. Now all of a sudden, you got somebody running outside fast. My body is just screwed up from the pounding. I can't keep up. And that's where those big plays will come. And that mystery of keeping guys guessing. And if nothing else, another one of those problems with not being able to spread the ball and get things working all the way around, it puts you in even more predictable situations. We run the ball and we weren't as successful, so now it's 2nd and long. Well, you got to pass. You have an incomplete pass. It's 3rd and long. You got to pass. And that's what killed us. So, Linehan, I hope you are on the hot seat. I hope you are coaching like your football life in Dallas is on the line. And this whole thing, see, if I had been Jerry Jones when he was asked if Jason Garrett doesn't win, is he on the hot seat? Instead of saying no, I would have said something like, in the NFL, you're always on the hot seat. Everybody is on the hot seat. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Yeah, no, but they should be.
I don't think Jason Garrett's on the hot seat.
I disagree with you on that.
I don't think he'll lose his job in the season.
I'm telling you,
Scott Linehan will lose his job in the season, but Jason Garrett won't lose his job in the season.
Yeah, but here's the question though: it's one thing not to fire him when you don't have to pay him any more money. There's no more guaranteed money. It's another thing when you got to open up the checkbook and write another check so he can stay there.
They're not going to fire him.
I don't know.
I said that last season. They're not going to fire him.
Oh, I mean,
Scott Linehan will get fired before Jason Garrett does.
Well, see, and herein lies.
That's the truth.
Herein lies why Cowboys legend calls me a coward, and why he says that I'm a bandwagon fan. See, when things went south last year, and we knew that eventually Zeke Elliott was going to be suspended, that's where I was at the point of, it's like being a drug addict or an alcoholic. Until you reach rock bottom and are forced to change, you won't change. You'll be in denial. And it was kind of like, maybe the Cowboys just need to be rock bottom to finally get better. Because as long as you are close to the playoffs, sniffing the playoffs, then that's just good enough for Jason Garrett to stay. Just good enough. But had we gone south,
Scott Linehan would have lost his job.
you know, that's the thing.
I don't think Jason Garrett would have lost his job.
We'll have to wait and see how that goes.
The best coach in the world for the Dallas Cowboys.
I got to tell you, I envy all of you guys who do this stuff for a living that are in freaking Oxnard right now covering the Cowboys. You guys don't know how good you have it. God, that would literally be my dream job. Oh well, 45 minutes until practice. I'm Mark Holmes with, and at least in 1 week for a couple of days, we'll be covering the Cowboys in Oxnard. I'll see you guys on the road.